Hi children, welcome back to the Max class. So easy conceptual learning by Saujanya. Yes, so let us continue the videos of fractions first. We have covered some of the topics in the previous videos. So after that, the continuation of that thing is like we have to follow the four arithmetic operations which are there in fractions. Let us see the four arithmetic operations, that is plus, minus, into and division. How to do them in fractions. Okay, so even if you go to the higher classes, you might have, some of you might have confusion regarding the LCM part, how to take the whole number, how to do the fractions and all. Yes or no? So don't worry, just we will easily make up with all the arithmetic operations. Yes, so let us start today's video with the first arithmetic operation, that is addition. Okay. So, in fractions, if you start with additions, if you start with additions, as in the previous things how I told you, here also we are having two types of fractions. You know that, you remember that, no? We are having like fractions and unlike fractions. There are two different things. How did we compare the like and unlike? Okay, so there are two things here, that is, one is like and the other one is unlike. Okay, so now let us see some examples regarding like and unlike, how to do additions for the fractions. Let us take 2 to 3 examples for that and learn them in detail, how to proceed the additions in like fractions. Okay, so let me take one example first here. So it is 3 by 2 plus 5 by 2. So, if you observe here, we have the same denominator here. Yes or no, children? Yes. So, as we have the same denominator, we call them as like fractions. Yes. So, as there are like fractions, in like fractions, it is very much easy because the denominator is the same. Yes or no? So, don't bother about the denominator. What you have to do is just simply add the numerator and then write the common denominator which is there. Now, see, look here. See. What are the numerators here? 3 and 5. So, just add the denominator under the numerators under the common denominator. Okay. So, you'll be adding the numerators under the common denominator. Okay. So, 3 plus 5 gives you 8 by 2, which in turn, if we want to make it into simpler fractions, actually in fractions, you do whatever arithmetic operation, whether it is plus, minus, into or division, you have to convert the final answer into the simplest form. Okay, I told you already in the beginning in the previous videos about the simplest form, that both the numerator and the denominator should be, you have to divide both the numerator and denominator with the same number. Okay, if they are not divisible in the same number, it means that they are in the simplest form. Okay, but here see, you have in the numerator 8 and in the denominator 2. So that means if you divide it, so what happens, see, I'm going to divide this by 2 and this by 2. So both are divisible in 2 table. Yes sir, as they are even numbers. So 8 divided by 2 is nothing but 4 and 2 divided by 2 is nothing but 1. So now this becomes the simplest form of the fraction. Okay, so after doing the arithmetic operation, you have to convert the answer into the simplest form. That means you should cancel them or divide them in the same table. Remember that you cannot divide numerator with one table and denominator with other table. You have to divide both of them with the same table, and then only you'll be getting the simplest form of the fraction. This is the answer. Is that clear, children? Yes. Now see, once again, let us once recall. Let us once see what is the procedure we have done for the like fractions. As the like fractions have the same denominator, so we need not bother about the denominator. You should add the numerators under the common denominator. That means the same denominator which is there for both. Okay. So, and then you'll continue the arithmetic operation. Okay. So, you'll continue and change them, convert them into the simplest form. Yes. Now, let us see one more example regarding this like fraction. One more example regarding this like fraction. Why I told you one more example is, there is a small speciality here for the like fraction, like I'll tell you. See, suppose if there are things like 7 by 5 minus, we'll do under addition only, so plus 3 by 5. Yes, once again we are going to recollect the procedure here. Like fractions means which have the same denominator. Is that clear, children? Same denominator. So as we have the same denominator, you should add the numerators which are present. Even if there are two fractions and more than two fractions. See, as you go to the higher classes, like in 4th, maybe it is a starting for you for fractions, you may get only 2. But for 5th and 6th, as you go upper classes, you will have like 3, 4 fractions like that. Okay, so whatever it is, this is what is the second procedure what I told you, because I want this to be useful for all the classes like 4, 5 and 6. So as we have 3 fractions here, you need not worry about whether we are having 2 fractions or whether we are having 3 fractions. We are just bothered about first to watch whether they are like or not. As they are like, all the 3 fractions are having the same denominator, we will simply add all the numerators, that is 7 plus 3 plus 2 by 5. Why? Because under the same denominator, that equals to 7 plus 3 is 10, 10 plus 2 is 12. So 12 by 5. And now coming here, when you come to such kind of fractions, 12 by 5, they are not divisible in the same table. Yes or no? Can you tell me any table in which we can divide 12 and 5 together? No. Reason is 5 is a prime number. It have only 2 factors, that is 1 and itself. Yes or no? So it is only divisible by 5, where 12 is not divisible in 5. And okay, but in one table, even though they are having common factor of 1, we cannot divide with 1, because even though you divide with 1, you get the same number. Okay, that is the reason why we don't divide with 1. Except for 1, we divide with other numbers. Okay, children? So this, now when you are not able to do, so what should I do? When we are not able to divide them, leave the fraction itself like that. Don't get worried about the fraction. Just check your procedure whether the procedure is right or wrong. Is that clear, children? Yes? Yes. Now coming to the unlike fractions. Unlike fractions. How these unlike fractions? What is the definition of unlike fractions? Yes, unlike fractions means, what happened? Yes, if they are having the same, are they having the same? They have the different denominators. Very good. See, like is the same, unlike is the different. So, different denominators, if you are having, then you tell it as unlike fraction. So these are the two. See here, the denominator is 2 and 5. 2 and 5. So as they are having 2 different denominators here, it is an unlike fraction. Now what is the procedure to be followed when the unlike fraction is given? First and foremost thing, children, in maths, we have a procedure to follow only with the like fractions. So unlike fractions should be converted. That means I'll write it as a step first. See, unlike fractions should be converted into like fractions first. So that will be my first thing, my first step towards the problem. So as I found that there are 2 different denominators, I should make the denominators equal. Why? Because there is only one procedure which exists telling that like fractions, that means only like fractions. So unlike fractions should be converted first into like, and then we follow the same procedure of adding the numerator. Okay, so let us see first how to bring both the denominators into an equal number. The first thing is we have to take the LCM of both the denominators, children, like 2 and 3. So take the LCM of 2 denominators. So 2 1 time, 5 1 time and 1. So the LCM of 2 and 5 is nothing but 2 times of 5. 2 times of 5. So 2 times of 5 is nothing but 10. That means you have to make both the denominators as 10. Whatever is your LCM, you should make the denominators into that number. So, how much, with what number if you multiply 2, you will get 10? Yes. So, if you multiply 2 with 5, that means if 2 is multiplied by 5, then it gives you 10. That means you will get the denominator as 10. So, now again, see, is it sufficient that if you multiply only with the denominator? No. When any number is multiplied with the denominator, you should multiply the same number with the numerator also. That is into 5. Okay, please don't forget that, children. Why? Because in order to equalize the fraction, you need to multiply the number with which you are multiplying the denominator. The same number should be multiplied to the numerator also. Is that clear? Yes. Now, how to make 5? The denominator 5 as 10. Yes, 5 if multiplied with 2. That is 5 times of 2 and 7 times of 2. Now let us write the fractions first. Okay, 3 5s are, please don't write them directly. Write down the fractions so that you will have an idea that you have converted unlike fraction to like fraction. 3 5s are 15 by 10 plus 7 2s are 14 by 10. Now see, what is my first step? Did I complete my first step? Yes. I converted the unlike fraction to like fraction by taking LCM of the denominators, both the denominators. If there are 3 fractions, you should take the 3 numbers LCM and you should find the LCM. Okay. So how many fractions will be present for you there for unlike? All the numbers, all the denominators you should take and you should take the LCM. So initially we will be starting with two fractions. Okay. Now after converting this, the procedure is the same as we have done in the like fractions. So as the denominators are same, now I will add only the numerators, that is 15 plus 14 under the common denominator. So 15 plus 14 gives you 29 by 10. And here you might wonder, like, is 29 by 10 divisible? No. Can you change it into simplest form? No. Why? Because both the numbers are not divisible in the same table. Is that clear, children? So 29 by 10 itself is the simplest form of the fraction for adding these. Okay. So this is how you do. So for unlike, as the numerators are same, we add only the numerators. Okay. As the denominators are same, we add only the numerators. But for unlike, what happens is both the denominators are different. So you have to take LCM for the denominators, convert the unlike fraction to the like fraction, and then we add the numerators and follow the same procedure as we do in the like fractions. Is that clear, children? Yes. Yes. Now let me take one more example regarding this unlike fraction. If a fraction is added to a whole number, this is a very big confusion for even high school children. Why? Because you get some number, like you get one number and you get a whole number at the side. So children doesn't know how to deal with this whole number. Actually, any whole number can be written into fraction as 2 by 1. Is that clear, children? So any number, any whole number, you can write it like this, 2 by 1. If there is no denominator, you can write that number as fraction, indicating 1 as its denominator. Is that clear? Now see, both have the denominators, but they are different. Okay, but they are different. Now let me take LCM. If you take LCM for 1 and 5, what will become the LCM? 5. So that means you should multiply. Here there is no necessity for us to multiply numbers to both the fractions. See, because already this is 5 here. If I multiply only with this side fraction into 5 and into 5, it is sufficient for me. Yes or no? I have converted now into the like fraction. Yes or no? So you have to choose correctly the thing, like into which. See, there are some cases which deal like this. You need not multiply with both the fractions. You may have for one the fraction and one for this. So I'll tell you one more example regarding this. So, but still, please try to understand, there is no necessity for you to multiply with both the fractions. Now see, write the fractions once again. 7 by 5 plus 5 2s are 10 by 5. Now see, I have converted into like fraction. So from here onwards the procedure follows the same thing. So add the numerators under the common denominator. So 7 plus 10 gives you 17 by 5. So even 17 by 5 is the simplest form of the fractions. You cannot convert it, okay, because in that 17 is a prime number and 5 is also a prime number. So yes, clear? Is that clear, children? Yes. Yes, as I told you, that I will tell you one more example is when the denominators are multiples. Multiples means what? 7 by 4, okay, 7 by 4 plus 3 by 2. Now see the denominators. When you see the denominators, you can just imagine that 4 is nothing but a multiple of 2. Yes or no? And 2 is a factor of that 4. Now, if you multiply this 2 into 2 and into 2, you can convert it. You can convert it. That means what did you understand? If you have the denominators as its multiples, or if you have the denominator as a whole number, that means if the denominator is by 1, you need not take specially the LCM. You can just multiply, equalize them fastly. Pick out the smaller number, multiply with some other number to get the bigger one. Okay. So 4, that is 2 times of 2. Now write the fraction once again. 7 by 4 plus 3 2s are 6, 2 2s are 4. Now same procedure, like we have converted them into the like fractions. So 7 plus 6 by 4. How much, children? 13 by 4, where 13 is a prime number. That is the reason why you cannot cancel them in the same and similar table. Is that clear, children? So is that clear that arithmetic operations, the first arithmetic operation, addition, for like fractions and unlike fractions. Thank you for watching.